Hey guys, happy Friday. Okay, this is take two of this video on, I came in here yesterday for our nutrition Q&A, and I was sharing some tips on my best tips for staying on track with your nutrition while you're traveling. And I recorded that piece of it, but for some reason the video did not record or save correctly, and so I wasn't able to upload it today. So we're going to try it again, and hopefully the recording ends up in the right place and saves correctly, and we won't have a problem. All right, so first of all, it is absolutely 100% possible to not only stay on track with your nutrition, but not only not gain weight, or even to lose weight while you're on vacation. And you can still enjoy your vacation too. So I wanted to give you some of my best tips for doing that. First things first is going into your vacation with the right intentions and kind of being a little bit intentional and thoughtful about when you want to treat yourself and when you want to splurge and when you want to make sure that you're fueling your body so that you can feel your best. And every time we go on vacation, I kind of think about that in the back of my mind. I'm thinking I could completely ignore all my nutrition rules, all my new way of eating. But the thing is, if I do that and we're eating out all the time, we're grabbing food and I'm just eating whatever, I am going to start feeling pretty bad pretty fast. I know that the way I eat fuels my body. It makes me feel my best. It gives me energy. It helps my digestion, all those things. And I want to enjoy my vacation. So I want to feel good while I'm on vacation. I don't want to feel like blah and bloated. So think about how you want to feel on your vacation, not just what you want to enjoy on your vacation. You got to kind of balance those two things, and no one can tell you exactly what the right balance is. It's always up to, each individual, and different trips are different. But think about that and where you're going and how you want to feel. But there also is, I think it's a good thing to enjoy your vacations and enjoy the trip and not stress out about food, to plan and prepare and be thoughtful and creative, but not to make it a stressful or something that's going to cause your trip to be less enjoyable. See, this is why I did it yesterday while they were gone, and now they're here. So got to balance those things. You're not trying to be perfect. You're not trying to create a stressful situation for yourself or your family while you're on your vacation, but you're also not trying to just throw all caution to the wind. Oh my gosh. All right. So the first things first, before you leave home, let's start there. Whenever I am going on a vacation, whether I'm on a plane or in a car, but this is more important if you're traveling, if you're flying, I will first put together a little snack pack of veggies to bring with me. There's 3 things I always bring on my vacations, especially on flights: veggies, Shakeology, and water. 1 scoop or 1 packet of Shakeology on every flight. That's what I bring. Oh, 4 things, and a beach bar. So I bring those things, especially the veggies and the Shakeology, because a good, clean, healthy protein can be hard to find when you're on the plane, especially now with like COVID and all of that, and you can't order food on your flights or anything typically. Different airlines might be different now. I don't know. The rules change fast. But having a good, clean protein that I can just get my shaker cup filled with water, shake it up, and have something that's going to give me energy and going to, support my digestion and all of that is so incredibly helpful when I'm traveling by plane. And then the veggies too. Veggies and protein are often the hardest things to find when you're traveling in a clean, especially in like a clean meal that's not like covered in fat or a bunch of oil or something like that. So that is what I bring. I bring the beach bars because they are something especially that my kids will eat. They are half of a serving of protein, half a serving of carbohydrates, so half a yellow, and 1 teaspoon. So it gets you a little healthy fats. It's just a good, healthy, clean snack bar. It has more protein, more fiber, and less sugar than any other snack bar on the market. So that's why I bring them. And I get the discount on them for the Coach. If you have a Coach account, you get the discount on them. So that makes it a little more cost savings there. So that's what I bring on every airplane flight. I also bring those things in the car, even though you have more opportunities to stop when you're in the car, but I tend to find that my kids want to stop at places that don't have a lot of healthy options, and so I like having those. Also for snacks, if I get hungry, that way we don't have to stop, and if I'm the only one that wants to eat. So those are my like road snacks. Um, and then when we get to our destination, the first thing I do, if you're staying in a hotel, one of the first things that I do, especially if it has a refrigerator, is order Instacart. Instacart is a lifesaver if you don't have a rental car. If you just took the shuttle from your hotel or from the airport to the hotel, use Instacart and stock up on some veggies. Get some baby carrots, get some tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, some fruit. One other veggie thing that's awesome is the bags of stir-fried veggies. If you go to the fresh vegetable section, a lot of times they'll have prepped, so washed and chopped stir-fried veggies, and it's broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, and snap peas typically. And you can grab one of those and a little container of hummus, and that's a great snack. And you just grab and go. So those are some of my favorite things for snacks. In addition to beach bars, we always bring tons of beach bars, and I bring tons of Shakeology because that's a good, clean protein that is easy and portable and does not have to be refrigerated and is cheap compared to what you're going to find in a restaurant. So I bring Shakeology for every single day that I travel, at least one. And usually, a lot of times I will end up having it twice. So stock up at the grocery store. You guys need to stop creeping around in the background. Oh, she's being my Vanna White here. My kids are so helpful. All right. Yeah, you can have it. What were we talking about? All right, we were talking about things to stock up on at the grocery store. Okay, so for grocery stores, the other thing that I get for breakfast especially is the little containers of yogurt, like the high protein, low sugar Greek yogurt. They have some great low sugar Greek yogurt options that are they're not too sugary, and they're pretty good. So I'll get that, and then a really low sugar granola. I'm sorry if she's very distracting in the background. I'll get a low sugar granola and just like sprinkle it on top, and that makes a really good, protein and carb snack or breakfast. And then the other thing is, what else do I say? Oh, you can also get the little cardboard containers of oatmeal. And so one of those things of oatmeal, something that doesn't have a lot of sugar in it. Again, check the sugar content and all these things. You want to get the least amount of added sugar that you possibly can, and the most amount of fiber. Most amount of fiber and most amount of protein. So look at those oatmeal containers. You can get some of those and just put some, you can usually run some hot water through the coffee maker and use that to make your oatmeal. So you can have the oatmeal and a shake for breakfast. I do that a lot. And that's pretty much it for the rest, the grocery stores. Oh, fruit. I always stock up on fruit for snacks for the kids because they get hungry and we don't want to have to buy snacks for them all the time everywhere. So that's the grocery store when we get there. Now, when you're eating out, so what I do is before we go out to eat, I will think about whether this is a splurge meal or whether this is like just a regular meal for me. For example, when we were at Disney World, we did the Beauty and the Beast dinner castle experience thing. And I looked at the menu beforehand and I knew that I just decided, I was like, this is going to be a splurge meal. Everything, these things look amazing. You really want to try them. It's going to be a splurge meal. And we just planned it. I planned it that way. And that's okay to do. And then there's going to be other meals where it's just a regular meal and you want to kind of stay on track as much as possible. So get creative, look at the menus beforehand so that you can think about what you're going to eat when you're not dealing with your children in a restaurant, trying to figure out what they're going to eat. Like it gets a little chaotic sometimes with kids in a restaurant. So I like to look beforehand and at least decide what I'm going to have before I get there. And that way I kind of know, what I'm ordering. Now, when you're ordering and you're looking at the menu, don't forget to look at the sides You can order a la carte sides typically. And there are times when I will order, especially for breakfast, I'll have my shake before we get there. And then at the restaurant or cafe or coffee shop or whatever, I might just get coffee and an oatmeal. And because I've already had my protein and I'm just looking for a nice, healthy, high fiber carb to go with it. So steel cut oats, some whole wheat toast or a whole wheat bagel or something like that are great options. Like half of a bagel, probably you don't really want to, most of the time you don't want to have the whole bagel, but it depends on what your portion sizes are. So that's kind of my go-to for breakfast is I'll either have a shake beforehand and then get like something simple to go with it to kind of round out the meal at the restaurant. And then lunches, oftentimes I will get a wrap or a salad or a sandwich or a burger. But if I get a sandwich or a burger, I usually take the bread off, the top piece of bread off, and have it open face. Like Alana says, an open face is a happy face, and I always remember that. So I take the bread off so that I'm not having too many carbs in the bread, and then eat it that way. And then I get it with a salad or a cup of nice vegetable soup instead of the fries, if at all possible. That's not always an option, but that is another one where I will look at the sides, and sometimes they'll have like a side of steamed vegetables or seasonal vegetables, and I might ask for that instead of the fries. So kind of look at the sides, see what they have, and get creative and don't be afraid to ask. I always feel like restaurants are never going to start offering healthier options unless people ask for them. So never be afraid to ask. That's lunches. Dinners are similar. I will try to get like a salad or a steak or chicken with a vegetable if I can, if it's a regular meal. If it's a splurge meal, I might go a little bit more extravagant. But one thing to think about, especially if you're wanting to kind of splurge and then try some new things, I always try to share. So if I can split something with my family, then it's always way better than me ordering a whole one and them ordering a whole one. So for example, something Nate and I will do, we'll order the plate of pasta, and then one of us will order the pasta and then one of us will order the salad, and we'll eat half of each, so we're not just eating the whole thing of pasta. Or he gets the steak and I have some of his steak and potatoes and he has some of my salad, whatever. We kind of like adjust things that way a little bit, so it's not just we have a little more flexibility. And the same thing with desserts. It's totally fine to enjoy a dessert, but sometimes we don't need to have the whole dessert to enjoy it. Alana talks about this in some of her videos, that studies have shown that after like the first 2-3 bites of a dessert, your enjoyment per bite actually goes down and continues to go down the more you eat. So the more of your dessert you're consuming, the less you're actually enjoying it. So maybe you're happy with 3 bites or even 5 bites of your dessert that you wanted to try, and then you're done, and that's enough. And you can share the rest with your family. So that's a good way to be able to enjoy, if you really enjoy those first few bites and really pay attention instead of kind of checking out and just eating, which I tend to be like a mindless eater. So I will just check out and eat the whole thing. And like, I look down, I'm like, it's gone. So instead of doing that, like really focusing on enjoying it when you're eating those first few bites, and then maybe you don't need more than that. And so those are kind of some things that I keep in mind while we're traveling. Snacks that I keep on hand, I kind of mentioned. What I like to keep on hand for snacks while we're traveling or while we're at our destination, wherever we are carrots, celery, mini bell peppers, sometimes the tomatoes, the cherry tomatoes. If they're going to be shoved in a backpack, the tomatoes tend to get smushed, but they do travel well in like the little plastic container. So it depends on how I'm going to carry them. But sometimes those, but all those things will last for a day or maybe possibly even 2. But a good day without any kind of refrigeration. So those are kind of my go-tos. Hummus, those little hummus packets will last for a little while. You can get them at Costco usually. They're like little round containers of hummus, the individual serving ones. Those are great. And then what else? If we are going to be out and about at the park, If we're going hiking, I will bring those snacks. I will bring, again, Shakeology because it's so portable, always for a protein. I look for sometimes the nitrate and nitrite-free beef jerky for some additional protein to carry. The beach bars are a great source of protein too. And then the veggies I already mentioned. One of the things that we'll also do is bring wraps or pitas. We'll get tortillas or pita bread and wrap, you do turkey, hummus, some of the veggies that we have are typical veggies that we have on hand, and a little bit of cheese if we have it, and use that for lunch. And that's a great option for if you're in a hotel room too, because you only really need to refrigerate the turkey and the cheese, and so it fits in the small hotel refrigerator if your hotel has one. So those are kind of some suggestions. I try to use a good mix of snacks from the grocery store as much as we can. And I make sure that I try and get enough good clean protein in, and enough veggies and some fruits. Carbs are almost never a problem when I'm traveling. I've almost always got plenty of carbs to choose from. So I'm always focusing on how I can get the protein, the veggies, and the fruits in. And the way I do that is the things that I bring with me through, Shakeology, beach bars. Oh, the greens powder. I tried this when we were in Disneyland and it worked really well. I used the greens powder. I just mixed it with a little bit of my pre-workout. And it was so easy to get a whole serving of vegetables in before the day even starts and before we even leave the hotel. So that was really nice. It really helped me out a lot. Kept me feeling good. And then, so I talked about those things. And so I have all my Beachbody products that I use that kind of help me out. And then at the grocery store, I try and stock up and get whatever I can, whatever I have room to store, and if I have the refrigeration for it. So those are kind of my considerations. And then just being intentional when we're eating out and paying attention to portion sizes, and, deciding ahead of time if you're going to splurge or if you're going to try and stay on track before you get to the restaurant, and choosing what you're going to eat makes a really big difference. I lost weight while we were in Disneyland. Of course, we were also walking a ton. But it helps to just kind of keep things on track a little bit so that you don't have that vacation bloat and weight gain that makes it not so fun. All right. That's kind of all I got for tips. I hope this is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions at all. I'm always happy to chat. If you have a specific situation or destination that you're going to, I love talking through this kind of stuff. So feel free to reach out. If you have any other nutrition questions, let me know. I'm going to be doing the nutrition Q&As weekly for the time being. And it's just a time to hop where I'm available. I'm on here. You can hop on. You can ask any questions that you want. You can send the questions to me ahead of time and I'll answer them. So it's just time for us to chat nutrition together. So they're going to be Thursdays at 6. So if you have any questions, hop on or shoot them to me ahead of time and I'll make sure they get answered. Anyway, I hope this helps you guys. A couple of you I know are getting ready for vacations, so it's very exciting. And I hope you guys have a great Friday. All right, bye.